Hi friends, this is Gautam. In this video tutorial, I am going to discuss VLAN trunking protocol. So just introduction and basics of VTP. Let's see. So imagine you have a network with 50 switches and 100 VLANs. So normally you would have to configure each switch separately and create those VLANs on each and every switch. So that's a time consuming task. So there is something to help us called VLAN trunking protocol. So VTP will let you create VLANs on one switch and all other switches will synchronize themselves. So this is my example scenario. Here I am using 4 switches. So in top switch, this switch is a VTP server and rest of the switches are VTP client. So these are the cable I connected. So here in VTP server, if I'm creating VLAN 100, name IT, VLAN 200, name CSC. So what will happen? That information, VTP advertisement information will send to VTP client. So that's why I mentioned here dotted lines, that black color dotted lines saying like it's sending VTP advertisement. So this advertisement will comes to VTP client here, and this switch all the VTP client switch. So the VTP client will check that advertisement whether it's latest information or old information. If it's latest information, it will update it to their VLAN database. So how the VTP client identify whether it's latest information or old information? So in VTP, they are using revision number. Each and every time you can create or modify or you can delete. So whatever changes you made on VTP server, so the revision number will be increasing. So that's why I'm saying in this diagram. So here we have one VTP server, which is the switch where you create, modify and delete VLANs. Then all other switches are VTP client. So VTP configuration has a revision number, as I said earlier, so which will increase when you make a change. So every time you make a change on VTP server, this will be synchronized to the VTP client. So by the way, you can have multiple VTP server since it's also function as a VTP client. So you can make change on multiple switches in your network. So for example, in my network here, I am using only one VTP server. In case here, this last switch I can configure as a VTP server. So that means this switch and this switch are both are VTP server. So either I can configure from this switch, it will be updated to all other switch, or either I can configure from this switch, it will be updated to all other switch. So VTP server will act as a VTP client also. So that's why I'm saying in this point. And last point, in order to make VTP work, you need to set up a VTP domain name, which is something you can just make up as long as you can configure it to be the same on all the switches. So VTP domain name you should remember while you are configuring VTP. So in this example, this is my production network, consider like that. So I am using 5 switches. So all the 5 switches should comes under same domain name, then only it will be working fine. If the domain name is mismatching, means it won't work. So you should more careful while you are configuring VTP. So these are the short description. So VTP you can add, modify, delete VLANs. So every changes, revision number will increases. So the latest advertisement will be sent to all VTP clients. So VTP clients will synchronize themselves with the latest information. Okay, besides VTP server and VTP client, there are also a VTP transparent, which is bit different. Let me show you an example. So this is my example. So in previous scenario, we can saw VTP server and VTP client. Here VTP transparent switch also there. So in VLAN trunking protocol, there are 4 modes are there. VTP server mode, client mode, transparent mode and VTP off mode. So these things I will discuss later in upcoming slides. Okay, so consider here in VTP server, if I'm creating VLAN 100, name IT department. So once the VLAN information created in the server, the revision number will be increasing. So then it will send the VTP advertisement to the VTP transparent switch. So VTP transparent switch, it won't signorize itself. Just it can pass that information to the VTP client. So VTP client check that information. If it's latest information, it will update the VLAN database. So that one only I mentioned in this point. Our VTP transparent will forward advertisement but will not signorize itself. And VTP client, you cannot create VLAN locally through, though which is impossible on the VTP client. So that means in VTP transparent switch you can create the VLAN locally, but in VTP client you cannot. Okay, let's say you can create VLAN 20 on VTP server. This is what will happen. So you create VLAN 20 on the VTP server and revision number will increase. The VTP server will forward that latest advertisement which will reach the VTP transparent switch. So VTP transparent will signorize itself but will forward that advertisement to the VTP client. So VTP client will signorize itself with the latest information. So these are the points I said earlier. So I just put it on the point by point. Okay, so next one, types of VTP modes. So there are 4 VTP modes are there: server mode, client mode, transparent mode and off mode. So in VTP server mode you can able to create, modify and delete VLAN. So in VTP client mode is fully restricted. You are not able to create or modify or delete any VLAN. But it can receive the VTP advertisement. It will be updated the VLAN database. So VTP transparent, you can create, modify and delete VLAN only locally. Only locally means within that switch you can create, modify or delete that information. That information cannot advertise to the neighboring switch. But in VTP transparent switch, if it receives any VTP advertisement from the server, it will receive, but it won't signorize themselves. Just it forward to the neighboring switch. So VTP off mode, if you don't want to participate in VTP, you just configuration VTP off mode. Okay, this is the overview of all 4 VTP mode. So types of VTP modes. So VTP server. So here create, modify, delete VLAN. In VTP server, yes. And VTP client, no. You are fully restricted. And VTP transparent mode, yes. You can able to create, but within a local switch. So VTP off, no. You completely off from the VTP. Signorize itself. So VTP server acts as a VTP client also. So I already said in my network, if I'm using 2 VTP server. So if one VTP server sending advertisement, the another VTP server will receive and signorize themselves. So that's why it's yes. VTP client, yes. VTP transparent, no. So you can do it manually. But if you get any advertisement from the server, it will just pass through the next switch. VTP off, completely off. Forward advertisement. So VTP server, yes. Once you receive the advertisement, it will forward to the neighboring switch. VTP client also, yes. And VTP transparent also, yes. But VTP off, no. It won't participate anything in VTP. In VTP off mode. Okay. So it might sound useful, but VTP has a big security risk. So the problem with VTP is that a VTP server is also a VTP client. And any VTP client will signorize itself with the highest revision number. So the following situation can happen with the VTP. So you have a network with single VTP server and couple of VTP client switch. So everything is okay, everything is working fine. But one day you want to test some stuff and decide to take out of the VTP take out one of the VTP client switch and put it in the lab environment. So you can take the VTP client switch out of the network and you can configure it so it's no longer part of VTP client. So you can configure as a VTP server. So you play around with the VTP, create some VLANs, modify some VLANs and delete some VLANs. So every time you make a changes, the revision number increases. So you done playing, you tested everything. Then you deleted all the VLANs. You configure the switch from VTP server to VTP client. So you connect your switch to your production network. So what do you think the result will be? So the revision number of VTP on the switch we tested in the lab with is higher than the revision number on the switch of our production network. So VTP client will advertise its information to the other switch. They synchronize to the latest information and poof, all your VLANs are gone. So VTP client can overwrite a VTP server if the revision number is higher than, because a VTP server is also a VTP client. So this is a big security risk. So you can make sure whenever you are adding any switch to your production network, you have to keep high on your revision number. And also best practice is you can change that switch, change the domain name to some other name, and again you can revert back to your own domain name. So the revision number automatically set to 0. That is one thing you should remember while you are configuring VTP. So this is a last feature for VTP, that is a VTP pruning. So this is my example scenario. So I am using one VTP server and 3 switch as a VTP client, and all the client switches I configure VLAN 100, 200 and 300. So in first switch 2 PCs are connected to VLAN 100 and second 2 PCs are connected to 200. Here VLAN 100 and VLAN 300. Okay, so you see we have computers in VLAN 100, 200, 300. So the link between this switch, that is a client and server, are trunk using 802.1q protocol. So it will carry all the VLAN traffic 100, 200, 300. So one of our computer in VLAN 100 sends a broadcast frame. So where do you think this broadcast frame will go? So consider like this PC sending a broadcast frame. So broadcast frame have to be flooded by our switches, and since our trunk are carrying all the VLANs, this broadcast will go everywhere. So it will goes to this switch to this switch and this switch to this switch. So however, if you look at the switch in the middle switch, do you think, so do you see any computer in VLAN 100 in middle switch? No, there is no VLAN 100 PC. 2 PCs are there and 2 PCs are using VLAN 200. Okay, so nope, there is only VLAN 200 there, which means this is broadcast is wasted interface bandwidth. So unnecessarily the VTP server sending the broadcast frame to VTP client, the middle switch, for VLAN 100. But there is no PC comes under VLAN 100. So it will be wasting our interface bandwidth. So to avoid these things, by enabling VTP pruning, so we will make sure there is no unnecessary VLAN traffic on trunks when there is nobody in the particular VLAN. So depending on the switch model, VTP pruning is enabled by default or it will be turned on. So based upon the switch model, it will be turned on or off by default. So that is the VTP pruning feature. So it will be avoid the unnecessary utilization of interface bandwidth. Thank you friends. I hope you enjoyed this lesson and it was useful to you. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below. And thank you so much for watching my video and subscribe my channel for further updates.